Man, oh man, here we go again. We are back with some second channel piddling action. Guys, I've had a rough week, and I will tell y'all more about that here shortly. Today we are gonna kind of be piddling. This is last week's mess I still ain't got to clean up. I've just had the longest time out of the shop working that I've had in a long time. That wasn't due to, like, you know, a family vacation or something like that. Out of the shop for right at 7 days. And so besides that is a physical thing, my eye. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Like I said, mentally it's been whooping me too, guys. So I'm still not 100%, but I can see pretty good right now. Like I said, we'll be doing a little piddling. I'll fill y'all in on some of the crap been going on around here in the last week that wasn't recorded because of that. Yeah, we'll do a little knick-knack paddywhacking around here. Right now, Slick has been restoring a Coke machine for his aunt, I believe, and he's ready to take it to them. Only thing is, it's heavy, I guess, and he don't know how to move it. So I offered the volunteer services of the International, because one good thing about it, that bed gets down low for loading heavy stuff, which is nice. So we've just about got our eye healed up. Let's see if we can't go blow our backs out. Throttle that old choke down. Now, as y'all know from that white Toyota Stout I'm currently building, I do not believe in defrost or windshield wipers. So we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. No one needs that crap. Who could ever need windshield wipers or defrost? That stuff is so overrated. Theodore's upset with me. I haven't been in the shop a lot, and he don't know what's going on. He was like, Dad, we're supposed to be in the shop all the time, but we haven't been, have we? Here's your defrost. We defrost and windshield wipe like men around here. What's wrong with all you old timers? Y'all's accustomed to all these what do you call that? Hell, I don't know. Custom comforts, okay? Y'all all gotta have all these fancy new things, you know? Back in my day, we wiped our windshield like men. Back in my day, you just turned on the Mr. Coffee pot and it made you a whole pot of coffee. You didn't have a little K-cup that you got to select how many ounces, or how much Frappuccino, or how many espresso shots, or how much mocha caramel vanilla it adds, okay? So call me old-fashioned. Let's get this old girl up in lift kit mode. Oh yeah, got old Gertie looking good. I've actually been on the fence, guys. I may sell this one. We've got to a point where I know we have a fleet of vehicles and I just can't drive them all. So if there was one I was thinking about selling, it was actually this one. And I know y'all's gonna say no, don't do it, or some people will, some won't care. But I don't know. We've sold some of these to D&H Classics too, so they'll be leaving soon. We've just got too much crap. And by crap, I mean really good treasures. I'll be ready to sell this one, then I'll drive it today and fall in love again. Here, pick her up a little more. Old Theo's chasing me like, where you going now, Dad? Hey, look how good this place is looking. We cut it for hay. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That old pond's empty. She ain't a pond no more. She's a puddle. I'm back, baby! Guys, I ain't drove in a week. My wife's been driving me everywhere. My wife's a very sweet lady. Yesterday we made it to the point where she said, I'm glad we've got to spend a lot of time together. Since you're always working, it's been nice. That being said, I'm ready for you to get back in your shop. Well, if I don't get to pester y'all, who do y'all think I've been pestering? Woo! They got some tires. Holy tire mountain. Guys, I feel sorry for that trailer. It looked tired. Built-in forklift.
The color looks cool with this one.
The old, we don't have a Tommy gate, we have a pudding gate. Woo! You need me to use that one good eye and that one bad hand and paint that in white? Yeah, better not.
I'll leave it to me.
I guess before we load it, I'll show y'all real quick. Of course, if you're following old OK Speed and Custom on the YouTuber, you've probably seen it some. But Slick did this for who? Your aunt?
Yep.
Aunt. And he's got her all painted up. He had to body work it, paint it. And I guess they make a kit that retrofits to it. And
yeah, that's why it's in there.
she is functional. So she don't just...
New seals, that's all we need.
She don't just look good, she'll function too. They sell those seals too?
Yeah, we gotta order some. I just didn't know which ones to get, so
right.
I think I figured it out. So
sweet. So he's got her all done up. He's just ready to deliver it because you don't want her scratched up.
I've been nervous ever since I painted it. I'm like, no one.
I can't imagine why.
No
it's
one
just
touch it.
you swinging hammers everywhere through the shop, and this is always
Yeah, and then like grinding sparks just hitting it all the time.
custom paint job, little texture.
Metal plate.
Yeah, give it that hammer finish.
Ready? I'm letting as bad as I thought.
Try to get everything strapped in a way where she'll hold, but we're not damaging anything. Everyone thought my dimple dyes were silly until they realized they serve a purpose, and that's how we strap stuff down around here. Here at Puddin's Custom Towing, if you've got a load that needs towed, give me a call. We'll get it hauled. Good thing lowered trucks with air suspension can't haul nothing. Only people who say that's a bunch of negative Nancy's who ain't ever towed with something like this, because obviously we have a really heavy load back there. Okay, it ain't that heavy, but until you move some heavy stuff by yourself and have a truck that can drop down this low, you don't appreciate it. Your back wheel. Oh, O'Reilly's. Hey, they're open, baby. We have one in town. Did you go in there yet?
Yeah, I bought some. Yeah.
Just cuz?
Yeah.
Some lifesavers. Altoids. Arkansas Oklahoma Railroad. You come from that way and hit that far out lane, you can ramp. Just a little pro tip if you're ever in Shawnee, America. Too bad that Silverado with the long travel suspension won't show you.
He was ready.
Yeah, that's why he picked that lane.
A Tweety bird over there.
Tweet. She looking good.
Dang.
Got the rallies on her.
Long bed.
Drop her down, put her on some Steelies. Fat whites. Ooh, baby.
What color steel?
Lowered S10. You could go black with fat white walls, or you could go white.
White on white.
White on white. Then we got the lowered 94 white racing hood, like your love.
Yeah.
Watch out. Never know what you'll see driving across Pot County. Damn van on Steelies with caps. You got it going on, Johnny Jones, the handyman. He may be handy, but he ain't fixed that fender yet. Then we got the clean OSB with the black hood. We got all the good stuff around here. Old box truck. Guys, we ain't even drove a block yet. Look at all that cool stuff I showed you. Yeah, whatever this little spinning European thing is. Shoo! With the SSR, with some pin scraping. What a unit. Well, I didn't show us carrying it to their backyard, but
Mission complete.
yeah, product delivered. Another satisfied customer. We got all kinds of good stuff out cruising today.
Yep.
I don't think I got that on there fast enough. It was also yellow. Got the yellow rides out today. That guy was all waving, then he seen all the rust. He put his hand down real quick. No.
I don't know that guy.
Yeah, I don't know him. Oh yeah, baby. Dang, got the lowered Blazer on torque thrust. Damn right. And if y'all need a car, you can get you the yellow Corvette. We got the old rat rod with the paneled paint job. The Mustang, she's a 66. Or a Nash Metropolitan in pink.
Or that OBS.
I was gonna say that OBS is pretty clean. I'll pass y'all to Slick. He'll get you a better shot as we drive by. Pot County ain't very big, but we got all kinds of good ones. Everywhere you go, nothing but good stuff. Shoo! 1776 on the grill. They meant business.
America.
Man. That was not it. Whoop! We made her back. Slick's going with that gentleman, one of his customers. They invited me to lunch, but I said, I better go get to work, get something done besides hauling a Coca-Cola machine. All right, finally made her back home. Oh, forgot to give Slick his little towels back. When we were in town, I've been needing some argon for my TIG welder, So I stopped at a new place I'm gonna start using for my bottle supply, and got some filler metals. I'm wanting to get this TIG welder fixed, or like I'd mentioned before, get a different one. I'm actually gonna talk to someone later about getting the Everlast fixed. We'll see how that goes. But right now, leaving all this a mess. I've been working on the defrost vent and all that kind of crap on there. Y'all see that in the future. But last Wednesday, a week ago today, about right now probably, it's probably been almost exactly a week. It was right before lunchtime it happened. I had my safety glasses on, my usual ones I have on. These bad girls right here, which do a pretty good job. They hug my face pretty dang good, which is why I actually like them. And there's a point where I was grinding metal with the little Rolock, and I felt it bounce right on my cheek right here. It was a pretty hard hit, like a big chunk, caught pretty good. I think I was using some of these 36 grit pads, and it was kind of a fresh pad. Don't remember what I was grinding on, but I very specifically remember feeling crap strike my cheek right there. And then, I mean, right after I felt it hit right there, I felt something hit my eye. And I never, you know, pull off my glasses and wipe it or this or that. I've always kind of, when I get debris, whether it's dust or, you know, whatever in my eye, I just kind of let the eye do what it does, which is usually kind of tear up a little bit and just wash itself out. And I've always had pretty good luck with that. In fact, 2 weeks ago, some crap got my right eye to the point where I lost sleep for a couple nights over it because I couldn't close my eye good. And then the one morning I woke up and I guess the stuff had flushed itself out with some tears or whatever because it was gone. So this happens that day. It obviously didn't feel good when it first happened, but it also wasn't like, you know, crazy pain or nothing. I would say it was out of sight, out of mind, but come to find out it was actually directly in where my sight was. I was just unaware at the time. I carried on working, guys, through Wednesday. It didn't bother me. I wasn't out here struggling. I finished working that day, recording that day, no problem. The problem came that night about, I don't know, 11 o'clock when I went to go to bed, and I closed my eyes, and closing my eyelids just irritated the piss out of my eye. It was hurting. I was watering nonstop. I have flush kits, so I was trying to flush it, you know, whatever. And fast forward till about 1:30 in the morning, I was still up. I very irritated, annoyed. I ended up taking some Benadryl, hoping that would help me fall asleep. And I just kind of sat there with my eyes open until I made it to a point where I was so tired when I did close my eyes, I guess I instantly fell asleep from what I remember. And we woke up the next day, that Thursday. We had a state volleyball, first time our girls at our school has ever made it to state volleyball. KK's on the team. And so we went to watch them play that day. So I already knew Thursday was going to be wiped. So I woke up that morning, did a couple eye drops. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the worst. We started, I don't know. I managed throughout the day. It wasn't, again, unbearable pain. I just noticed like, it mainly happened when I would close my eyes, when my eyelids would come down. So I assumed something was trapped behind my eyelid is what I was thinking. And then when I was coming down, it was kind of scratching the front of my eye, and that's what was upsetting it. So we went through that day. It was kind of bad. Took the eye drops. My wife drove because I couldn't keep it unpissed, I guess. And so we go into Friday morning, or that Thursday night was rough, kind of same thing. Try to go to bed, just killing me. Upset more and more. Use my Benadryl trick again. And I finally get to sleep. So I wake up Friday morning and my eye socket's in pain. And it ain't just like an annoying, irritated feeling, like the eye socket was hurting bad. And everything was extremely cloudy, like I couldn't see. My left eye is my dominant eye. My right eye is my weak eye. So most of my vision of being able to see as good as I can comes from my left eye. So now this thing's clouded over. My right eye's never been my dominant eye. It's trying to be my dominant eye, and I'm blind. I'm not blind, I can see, but like that morning, just sunlight in like the bathroom, I put my hand up like that, and I could not see my fingers. Everything was one big blur. So, of course, that scared me because I need my hands, which I try to blow off this year. And then I need my eyes where I can see, where I know what to do with my hands. And I was trying to take out my eyeball, I guess. So, of course, waking up like that Friday morning, and then even opening it was hurting. Seeing just natural light was hurting my eye. Like I said, the eye socket, it was a whole different type of pain I've never had before. So I told Ashley, what was going on. And my wife, she called my eye doctor to get an appointment, figure it out, whatever. So I go in that day at around 11, and he sits my head in the thing. And as soon as he turns it on, he was like, yeah, you got a piece of metal in your eye. And I was like, you see it already? He said, yep, it's right at the bottom of your pupil. He's like, it's right in the middle of your eyeball. First thing I seen as soon as I turned this little light thing on. So they had to do what they do of, he has some little pick tool, basically. He numbed my eye, digs that piece out. I guess it was in there pretty good. Pops it out, found another piece, got it out with a Q-tip. It had worked its way down in the bottom. He gets the metal out, and the other problem was around that piece of metal being in my eye for, at that point, it had been in there right at 48 hours. There was a ring of rust around the metal, which I never even thought about being possible on your eyeball. And to get that rust off, well, it basically has a little miniature Dremel tool, and you sit there and he uses that grinder and it ground off some of my eyeball. And then gives me some drops. He looked at everything, said it looked like it should heal nice. Said removing all the debris went good. I guess nothing too deep or whatever. And he's like, eyeball heals up pretty quick. And this was Friday at noon. So I'm thinking, well, hell, you give me till Saturday, till Sunday. So I'm like, come Monday, you think I'll be good? And he's like, yeah, you could. You'd be good by Monday. And then, he's like, there is a chance where it's at, if there's some type of scar tissue, you may notice that or something. And I'm like, well, that don't sound very promising, because it is right at the bottom of my pupil on my dominant eye. But long story short, come Monday morning this week when I woke up, in the mornings when I wake up, I cannot see. I just can't. And Monday morning, it was still bad. And of course, it has me nervous, guys, because losing my eyes, I mean, I can adapt, but this last week has been hell, because my brain don't know how to use my right eye to be my dominant eye. It's not a strong eye anyways, and I have one nearsighted eye, one farsighted eye. So like big picture, standing here and looking, I can see the box truck, the Ranchero, the Torolla, Mercedes clear. I mean, real clear. The problem becomes like when I get stuff in front of my face, if you're trying to get me focused, like even like, hey, look at this on the phone this last week. I'm like trying to this eye or that eye, and this eye can't clear up on anything. So then I got to let this one clear up, and it ain't clearing up. And up close has been rough, which when like this thing, what are we doing? Half the time we're out here, we're reading a tape measure. Now to be doing that, I'm going to have my eye an inch off the metal or off the truck. What I'm trying to measure, it just don't work. So Ashley gets a hold of them again, and he's like, yeah, I told him it'll take a while for it to heal up. And I'm like, no, you told me I'd be healed in 2 days, buddy. And he's like, well, I told him it could take a week, or this may be some permanent damage. And I'm like, that's funny. I don't remember that part of the conversation, which, I mean, I ain't mad at the guy if that's what it is. It's just tell me that from the start. Don't tell me I'll be good to go Monday, and then after Monday, be like, yeah, this could be your life from now on, buddy. Yeah, because there has to be something better than that. I don't know. It can be repaired on an eyeball or can't be repaired on an eyeball. But to finish this up, going forward this week, every day I've woke up, it's been a little better, a little better, a little better. This morning being Wednesday morning, exactly 7 days after the metal initially hit my eye, I woke up and was able to have fairly clear vision within 30 minutes. And by fairly clear vision, again, big picture, I feel like I'm pretty good. I've got pretty strong eyesight right now. Stuff immediately down in front of me, I'm still struggling with. And sometimes when I blink and stuff, I don't know if that is just scar tissue there now. After he ground it out and all that numbing stuff was still in there and I could actually open my eye and whatever, I got in the car. My daughter had drove me there, and I flipped down her mirror thing, and I was looking, and I could see the divot on my eye where he ground off a layer that eye or whatever. It was wild. So I know where it's at, and it's not in a good spot. So that has just put me behind, you know, and it is what it is. I can't change anything about it. About the only thing we could have done for a video is I could have found a junkyard to go do a walk around in. And, you know, we do stuff like that if we have to, but more or less here in the last couple months, I've been trying to more just push on projects, getting some real work done in this shop. And I was kind of flying on this thing, and then stuff like volleyball and some school events and a piece of metal in my eyes kind of slowed me down some. But I was kind of been tracking my hours on this to see how fast I could move on it. So in the end, I can be like, guys, we worked on it for a total of X amount of hours, which is X amount of work weeks or whatever. And now it's going to seem drawn out more just because I ain't been able to stay hooked up on it. But it is what it is. I'm thankful to have my eyesight. Just be careful, guys. I would say if you think you get something in your eye, I've always had good luck getting it out myself and it just working itself out. But like on this one, obviously me letting it stay in there probably did more damage because it let it rust, and then we had to grind out that rust, and that's probably a big part of my vision issue right now. So you better go get it checked. And I have these, which y'all can see, literally hugs my cheek. Got my old Santa Claus cheeks. They're a little puffy, and that always feels good. But the right angle, boom, I think it bounced in. I think from then it probably bounced off the lens, and off of that bounced right back, almost hit me bullseye in the pupil. It's on the bottom side of the pupils where it favors. Just like basically if you could touch the line of the bottom of your pupil and then where your eye has color, it was like right on that line is where the stuff's at. So much other than that, that kind of gives you why I'm doing one of these talking videos and hanging out. It is my first day back out in the shop. It is my first time driving in a week, and I just figured we could get some bull crap done. What in the B-52 is this thing? Look at that. Look at that. Theo, there's a flying bug, your favorite. Well, don't be so enthused, my friend. Don't be so enthused. Oh, how's that sun feeling? You been rolling around scratching your back or what? So a couple weeks ago or last week, I don't remember when it is, Mortsky actually come down. We'd cruised to a car show together. I did not record any content for my channel with him. We just didn't have the time with what I was doing of staying hooked up on the Stout. We did record a Will It Run for his channel that I'm in, if y'all ain't seen that. But with him coming down right before he got here, managed to get this water line buried. So the Mortsky Suite does have running water and everything, which is good because now we can get a pressure washer. Mine just has a lot of washing on it, and it's kind of in bad shape. I'd like to get a little bit better one. That thing was the cheapest one I could get back in the day, and we've got our $100 worth out of it, I feel like. Anyways, with this all being buried now, the next thing I'd like to do around here, as far as finishing up around here, is just some of this dirt work. This is always a muddy mess, as y'all know. Septic got buried for this place. Obviously that's going to be a muddy mess, and it's really clumped up, and that's because Oklahoma ain't had no water or rain in a good minute. We're pretty dry right now. So I was talking to my dirt work buddy, Mr. CL Barnett, great guy. We're talking to him about kind of sweeping some of this, cleaning it up, and finally putting some rock. I didn't want to do any of that till all the digging was done here. That way we're not tracking mud over the rock and crap like that. And then out there in the field, we still have a pile of old dirt left over that I'd like to just kind of distribute out there and spread around to make that pile go away. So I was talking to him about doing that, and he said, yeah, of course I can do all that. He said, one, when you get some rain, or, you know, like over there, the dirt's just so clumped up because it's just big old chunks of stuff. And he said also, obviously, for the rain to help stuff settle, that needs to settle because we did some digging and some backfilling. So, but he said on that hill out there, he said to spread that stuff around. Really out there in the field, we'd need to cut it down, or all that tall grass is going to clump up and it ain't gonna spread good and just kind of make more of a mess than anything. So he was talking about coming over here to look at it, to brush hog it. And I've offered it to a few people to cut for hay because this place makes pretty good stuff. And he come over to look at it, and said, hey, you know, that thing would make pretty good hay. And I said, yep, I've offered it to a couple people just to, you cut it, you take it, free hay. And anyways, he has equipment. I didn't know that. So he offered to come cut it for the hay. So he kind of jumped on it, just because the dirt work side of business is slow right now with everything kind of being so dry, I guess. And so they come out, or he came out, did it all himself. He cut it. And then that Saturday, that it was the day after I got the stuff dug out of my eye, he was bailing. So as he was bailing, that day I was being real optimistic because that guy told me a couple days and I'd be healed up. Of course, I woke up and I couldn't really see. And but come noon, I could kind of see out of it pretty good. And I was like, all right, this is just needs a good another day or so of healing. So that day when my vision cleared up some, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do a little training for myself. So I came out here and hopped in the new S185 Turbo. Well, she ain't a Bobcat no more. She's just a cat. Hopped in the new cat here. And as he was bailing, I started picking up the bales and gathering them. And that's right, guys, I did purchase a skid steer. I've been wanting one forever. The problem with buying one is I don't know anything about them. And what people want for them nowadays is an arm and a leg. For the same price I ended up paying for this one, except the ones that are for sale around here are literally clapped out. You can't read anything on them. They have like 5,000 plus miles, and people are just freaking acting like it's a brand new Denali truck or something with what they ask for them. So I've refused to buy one because I don't trust them. I don't trust the people selling them. I don't know enough about it. And against my better judgment, I decided to trust one from Sir Mordicus. So talk about not trusting people and then buy one from him. This is actually his dad's skid steer, and his dad don't really use it no more. And it has only 1,300 miles, or not miles. That'd be a lot. That's a long mile on one of these. 1,300 hours on it. And it is a, I think, 04 model. So extremely low hours for what it is. Very well taken care of machine. His dad's very meticulous with the maintenance schedule and stuff like that. For me, all the equipment I've ever operated is hand controls, where this uses your boom and your tilt and all that is in the feet. So that day, I decided I could help haul hay to just that repetitive motion of picking up hay bales and moving them. I'm like, that'd be good training for my feet. So as CL was bailing, I started moving them with the skid steer, got me some practice in there. And this thing's obviously going to be super handy, guys. Poor Torola. Y'all have seen me work her over the years. I know some of y'all are crazy and want me to do a full build on that thing. And the Torola is just what it is. It's a 2000 Corolla, guys. And it was funny because it worked. We put the wheels and tires on there in the lift kit just because I always thought it would look cool. And then the car just did way better than it was ever meant to do. It actually tugging stuff and shoving stuff. And it's still great for shoving stuff if you're kind of up there where it's flat and the vehicle's on rollers and don't have stuck brakes and stuff. But that old transmission, she just ain't got more dragging in her. Anything down here, I can't drag nothing up the hill. Even if it does roll good, it don't have it in her no more, guys. It's kind of like the $100 pressure washer. Well, that daily driver of mine that I used for 5 years when I was in the military, and then turned it into our all-terrain pusher shover vehicle. We've got our money's worth out of that thing, and I just can't justify trying to do some crazy full build on it, but some people think I should. It still will not be as capable as actually doing something like this. And I know some people ain't gonna like it, but the guys, I've lost so much time. Like, it's funny to use the Torola because you see this car dragging it and then shoving it, but what people don't realize is sometimes it takes me an hour to come out here and get something from the junkyard into where it needs to be in position on the lift. I mean, we're literally losing an hour of work from using a Torola, where something like this, we can actually just drag it up the hill and not be having to change steering wheel and this and that. You can manipulate it real easy because of the forks and stuff. So something like this has kind of been past due. When I ripped the stout chassis out from underneath that white one, I hooked a chain to it and we just drug it down around here, and it ended up right there. And then after that, I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to move that thing. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you have someone helping you, you got a way to drag it, it's whatever. But other than that, me doing the stuff the way I do it by myself and just chains and ropes and crap, we lose so much time. So all that was just to finally reveal to you guys that last week I did get me a skid steer. And y'all obviously start seeing it use more on the channel. And I'm not doing bad, or I'm not doing good of upkeep and maintenance, because I left that hay on here when I come over here and parked it. And I should have took her up to the shop and blown her off first. To be fair, by the end of moving hay that day, I realized my eyeball wasn't as good as I thought it was that day. Now, I mentioned getting rid of some stuff. And guys, I kind of just made it to a point out here where I've looked around and I go, how much of that can I really build? Or how much will I build? How soon will it be till I could get to it if I really want to build it? And then how many vehicles are we going to find between now and then that we think we have to buy? And I just kind of made it to a point where I think I need to get realistic of what's worth keeping around here and what's not worth keeping around here. So I hate to say it, I know some of y'all love the old half haul. She was a good work truck to keep out here for, I kept that thing as a work truck out here, even whether y'all knew it or not at the time, for around 2 years. I used this truck to clean up this place. That little half haul bed holds a lot. It was a great little truck for out here. It fit with the channel at the time, as the E-Haul was popular and all that. But it having the cut in half bed is not my favorite. And then if we were to put a full box on it, well, then it's just another U-Haul, which we already have as a Ford Courier and stuff. Meaning those boxes I have, I'd rather put them on something else besides another Courier. So I actually believe this one is getting sold to D&H Classics. The Ranchero D&H Classics had found, sent it to me. I brought it in as a Will It Run. I've always wanted a lifted four-wheel drive type of car. Not a huge fan of the Rancheros, but this thing kind of works. It's super cool for what it is. But the thing about it is, it totally needs rebuilt. The way they did stuff just ain't good. You're talking about different size lift blocks or chunks of metal. Most of the hangers are booger welded, ready to fall off. It's not really something that I would never drive this thing on the road, because when one of those mounts built and I killed someone, one, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Two, you'll probably lose everything you got because you knew what piece of crap you're putting on your road, or putting on the road, whatever. So this one's going back to D&H Classics as well. The Mercedes is not. I said I've always wanted to build a lifted car on mud tires or whatever. And for us, that's the Mercedes. That one's going to be staying. I would almost debate that this one's almost a little cooler, just because the attitude, the flares, the roll bar, the fact that someone did it back in the day. But then there's a Mercedes, which I love those cars, especially like that one. I can haul more friends in it. That thing's staying, so it ain't going nowhere. Neither one of our Toyota Stouts are going anywhere. I think we're going to keep the blue AD, since it tried to blow my hand off. No one wants it. But the van is probably going to D&H Classics. The green long bed is probably going to D&H Classics. I don't think I made a deal on the Scout. It may sit here a little longer. The green long bed has a cool look to it, but it's got some rust in some really unfortunate places. And long story short, you're just money ahead to find a better long bed to start with if you want to do a cut down truck. Our dually here, she's got a pretty cool look for what she is. And the main reason I got it, well, one, it was cheap and it was a good deal, and I just sold our other one. But my wife, when she seen it, she said it was cool. But then when I talked to her about me fixing it up and if she'd ride in it, she was like, well, why would we take that if we could take the new car? So right there, I'm just like, well, I would do it if she would ride in it. But when I asked her about all right, if I fix that up, you know, you can go to the city. Let's just take the dually instead. And she's like, no, I don't think I'd rather take that. She's just not a car person, guys. I'm not gonna do all that work hoping she'll want to ride in it if she don't want to ride in it. She acts more interested in this one, so we'll let it stick around a little longer. The dually here, she's probably going to D&H Classics. The Toyota's gonna stay just because that's a good drivetrain swap for something in the future if we ever decide to. The Love's probably gonna go to D&H Classics. This is just junk that needs hauled off for scrap. Thunderbird's staying, good drivetrain. Mr. Mercer staying. Sausage Wagon is staying. I don't know we'll ever really build Mr. Mercer or the Sausage Wagon, but having them sitting here ain't gonna hurt my feelings none. And I think that was it. So we're gonna get rid of the dually, the long bed, the van, the Love, the Ranchero, the half haul. I think that was it. I don't know. And they're supposed to get the box truck too, but we ain't figured out how to get that big old box truck to them yet. Oh, y'all may have noticed the Toyota dually is gone. I just did a trade deal with my sandblaster buddy. He was needing a good motor out of one of those, and then I told him, hell with good motor, I'm like, I got a good truck for you if you'd fix the cab on it. And he does, obviously doing sandblasting, he's always running parts and stuff, and he just seemed real interested and seemed like he could use that. So I did a trade deal with him to do a few sets of wheels for me, and he could have it. And then all this stuff I'm just giving to him too, hoping he has a couple other ones he's got on deals, and then I think between everything he's gathered, he's gonna have plenty of parts. So hopefully put him together a pretty decent little pickup truck or dually, depending on which way he decides to go, and hopefully that'll help him out. And guys, I don't want to be overflowing out of this, and which I already kind of am. So just like I said, I've got all this crap up here. I keep slowly going that away. I just look at stuff and go, well, as nice as it is to have junk sitting around, realistically, we just got to get rid of some stuff. We're going to get the white Stout on the road. We've got another mini truck we're going to be getting on the road real soon. It'll be a fast little build. And then we've got the Lodestar. And next year, hopefully towards the beginning of the year-ish, we're going to be pulling this in the shop. We're going to come back in this corner, and we're going to snatch up this dually chassis right here. We're going to get it in the shop. And then I'm going to get with my brother-in-law who has my 12-valve Cummins and 6-speed. And I've got them semi-wheels upstairs, and we're going to start building us a diesel machine, guys. Slammed hauler, 12-valve, 6-speed. Another reason why it was kind of hard for me to justify building this one. I was thinking with it, we could do like a 6-liter 5-speed swap, because I had a 6-liter, the one we put in Old Roy, and in one of these boxes I've got an NV 4500 that goes behind a 6-liter. But I'm like, again, if my wife won't ride in it, and then we're not really going to tow with it, we don't need to build two slammed towing dualies, you know what I mean? Just be repetitive, because I mean, who needs a bunch of the same style vehicles, of whether it's the exact same model, like a white Stout or a blue Stout or a blue Stout that looks like a blue International. We don't need a lot of the same stuff around here. That wouldn't make no sense. All right, guys, I know this is not a very good video, but it does kind of give you an update of some of the decisions that have happened around here in the last week as I've been down as far as selling some stuff, and what's been going on with me, and then getting the skid steer, whatever. Today is Thursday at noon. I am going to do a live tonight at 6 o'clock on the second channel here, just where we can interact some, and people who've seen this, if you've got questions or whatever, maybe we can talk about it. I don't do lives a whole lot, but I do like to hop on and interact with y'all from time to time. And even like right now, my eye's still not perfect. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be good to go today, and then the little bit I've already done, it's just not happy. It's just not quite there yet. I'm thinking it's going to take a couple more days of healing until it's super duper happy. So I'm not going to do too much more. I'm going to hop on this phone call, hopefully, and maybe get some stuff sorted out from my welder. I may clean up a little bit of my mess, but I think before I start cutting and welding and lock in that scar tissue that I've already messed up, I better give her another day or two of healing and just be smart about this, because we don't need no more permanent damage than what we have to keep anyhow. So thank you guys for being here. Hop on the live tonight if possible at 6. What time is that? 6 o'clock Oklahoma time, whatever time that is. People always ask me, well, 6 when? 6 Oklahoma, okay? And much other than that, we appreciate all the support over the years, guys. Appreciate y'all here on the second channel, especially you made it here to the end. Y'all are the ones who truly are supporting anything and everything I do, and it really means the world to me. I've been missing my time in front of the camera. I think my wife has been missing my time in front of the camera. Like I said, where I can aggravate y'all instead of her. She don't know I'm about to put this down, go over there and pick on her. But much other than that, thank you guys. It means the world to me for y'all to be here. Puddin'sFabShop.com for that good quality merchandise. I don't think we have much right now. Y'all keep us sold out, and that also means the world to us. I'm on the Instagrammer. I'm on the Facebooker. I'm on a mission. I will see y'all on the next one. However, do not forget, knocking your eyeball out will not finish your project. Hot damn, there's so much BSery. We had to start a whole channel for all the extras. Be sure to go check out Puddin's Fab Shop if you ain't seen that baby yet. Come on!